You've probably heard people say, money goes to money, or the rich get richer. They sound like empty cliches, right? But here's the thing, they're not. There's a very real tipping point in personal finance, and for most people, it happens right around $20,000 saved. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain to show you exactly why that first $20,000 is such a game changer, why everything starts to feel different once you hit it, and what you can do right now if you're still trying to get there. Let's start with the big question. Why does $20,000 feel like a psychological and financial threshold? Number one, it transforms your financial peace of mind. When you have zero savings, you're living in survival mode. You accept the first job offer even if it's soul-crushing. You stay in toxic relationships, bad living situations, or dead-end jobs because you literally can't afford to walk away. Every decision you make is driven by fear. Fear of missing rent, fear of an unexpected car repair, fear of what happens if you get sick. Your brain is wired for short-term survival, not long-term growth. You're not thinking about investing, building wealth, or starting that business idea you've had for years. You're just trying to make it to the next paycheck. But here's what the data shows. According to research from Vanguard and several other financial studies, even having just $2,000 in emergency savings can boost your overall financial well-being, score by around 20%. That's not nothing. And when you build it up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses, that feeling of security jumps even higher. For a lot of Americans, $20,000 is the number where it finally clicks. It's often enough to cover 4 to 6 months of basic expenses, depending on where you live. Suddenly, you're not one emergency away from disaster. You start breathing easier. You make decisions from a place of calm instead of panic. This is the shift almost nobody talks about. It's not just about the money in the account. It's about getting your nervous system out of fight or flight mode so you can finally think clearly about your future. Once you have that cushion, something powerful happens. You now have money that can start working for you. And that leads me to the second reason why hitting $20,000 changes everything. This is where compound interest stops being a cute concept in a textbook and becomes something you actually feel. Let me show you with real numbers. Imagine you're consistently putting away $800 every month and earning a conservative 8% average annual return, which is very doable in a broad stock market index fund over time. Getting to your first $20,000, it's going to take roughly 21 to 22 months of steady saving and investing. That's a grind, no sugarcoating it. But here's where it gets exciting. Your second $20,000 doesn't take another 21 months, because now your first $20,000 is working in the background, earning returns. Those returns start generating their own returns. So the next $20,000 comes faster, around 17 to 18 months. By the time you're going for your third $20,000, the timeline shrinks even more. And when you eventually reach $400,000, you can make your next $20,000 in roughly 5 to 6 months, without increasing your monthly contributions at all. The work stays the same, but your money starts doing the heavy lifting. This is the snowball effect people talk about. The first $20,000 is the hardest because you're pushing a boulder uphill. After that, the boulder starts rolling on its own. The math starts working in your favor. A lot of people think there's some secret club you enter once you have real money. Like, suddenly you get access to special investments, private deals, or insider opportunities. But the truth is much simpler and actually more powerful. It's just basic math. The same percentage return on a bigger number equals way more dollars. That's it. If you make 8% on $2,000, that's only $160 for the whole year. Nice. But it doesn't move the needle much. Make that same 8% on $20,000? Now, you're looking at $1,600 in returns. Money that shows up without you having to trade more hours of your life for it. And the best part, you don't need fancy strategies. You can be investing in the exact same low-cost index funds as someone with $500. The only difference is scale. Once you cross that $20,000 mark, your returns finally start feeling meaningful. They become real building blocks instead of pocket change. This is why hitting that first milestone feels like you've finally unlocked a new gear. Number 4, you've built unbreakable discipline. This might be the most important reason of all. When you save up your first $20,000, you don't just gain money. You gain a completely new identity. You've proven to yourself that you can do hard things. You've said no to impulse buys, nights out, and lifestyle creep so you could say yes to your future self. You've tracked your spending, made sacrifices, and stayed consistent even when it was boring or difficult. That discipline changes everything. Suddenly, you trust yourself with money. You know you're someone who can delay gratification. You've broken the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. This mental shift is massive because financial success is 80% behavior and only 20% knowledge. Once you become the kind of person who can save $20,000, you're much more likely to save $50,000, $100,000, and beyond. You've rewired your habits and your self-image. Watching this and thinking, I'm nowhere near $20,000 yet. Don't worry. Here are 3 powerful ways to speed up your journey. First, get crystal clear on your current financial picture. Most people have no idea how much they're actually spending or where their money is leaking. Take 1 weekend to track every expense for the next 30 days. Know your real numbers, income, expenses, debt, and what you can realistically save each month. Clarity beats motivation every single time. Second, automate everything. The best savers don't rely on willpower. They use systems. Set up automatic transfers the day after you get paid. Use apps that round up your purchases and invest the spare change. Make saving stupidly easy and automatic, so you don't have to think about it every day. Third, focus on increasing your income. Cutting expenses will only get you so far. For most people, the fastest way to hit $20,000 is to earn more. Ask for that raise, switch to a better paying job, start a side hustle, or learn a high income skill. Even an extra $500 to $800 per month changes the timeline dramatically. So that's why your first $20,000 is such a massive turning point. It gives you peace of mind, creates momentum, improves the math, and builds the discipline you need to win the long game. The beginning is always the hardest part, but once you get that first $20,000 saved and invested, everything starts getting easier. Drop a like if this helped you, and let me know in the comments. How close are you to your first $20,000? I'll see you in the next one.